The son of Thor has finally returned. The Enchantress used her blood with Thor's old power, or I should say old father, right? To bring back his son. By the way, she tricked his ass. This is the Immortal Thor issue 17. What a wonderful issue. Al Ewing's cooking right here. Finally, we have like back-to-back issues of just peakness. And everybody was asking me to review on, so here we go. We see Thor with these metaphors saying that, yeah, he is basically dead in the void with like no chance of returning, no star, no light. It's nothingness. You're dying, Thor, but not yet dead. Who calls me from the void? Don't you remember me, Thor? You used to be really close, you and I. Why, we're almost the same person. It's Donald Blake. We haven't seen him since when Thor put his ass into that like pit of snakes in the Donny Cates run. When Thor put him in that box or whatever, I guess Loki got involved and Loki tortured him, and Donald Blake wants revenge on his ass. But can we not remember Donald Blake in the Donny Cates run like went kind of rogue and almost destroyed Asgard? What I love about this is that Al Ewing's taking stuff from Donny Cates run where we see visions of Midgard exploding, being on fire, and Donald Blake mentions it again. And how Thor might be in the wrong place at the wrong time and Midgard is going to go away. Donald Blake, though, since he's stuck in the void, he thinks that possibly if you die, Thor, I might die. But there's also a possibility that I might live if you die. So he sends like these creatures at Thor to kill his spirit form so he can get out of here. Now, back in Midgard, we see Great Gargoyle going, Sacre bleu! I still cannot believe you murdered Thor, Hyde, and I helped you. Do you know what Captain America will do to us, mon ami? My life is over. Great Gargoyle is funny as shit right here. Like, he just doesn't want to get, effed over this. But Hyde's like, listen, we take out Thor, that's a good thing. We see Thor fighting these demons, right? And he's getting surrounded. But his body is reconstituting into like a full-on statue again. And all the, these villains are like, Radioactive Man, are you doing this? He's like, no, it's not me. Thor is back to fully whole as one person. Radioactive Man is like, guys, I don't think he's gonna be pleased with us. Verily. Thor throws his hammer at Hyde. Because Thor is like, listen, we're away from people. I'm about to go rogue on your ass. And Hyde's like, no, you won't. Gets hit in the back of the head by Mjolnir and uses the Odin Force to knock out Radioactive Man in the process. I also have an axe. Tormod, the wise one. The keen edge Tormod that cuts oak like butter. Cobra doesn't believe. He's like, you're bluffing, Thor. You wouldn't do this. Am I? I have fought Ragnaroks. Little Cobra, I have been to the death of the gods. Cobra is like, boss, you're listening? Get us out of here. Well done, son of Odin. Was it a gang of rogues that barely troubled me before I was the Allfather? And though surprised and tricked, they nearly bested me? The person saying this is actually Enchantress messing with Thor. And if you guys don't know what's happening, basically what happens is that Enchantress wants her son back, and it's kind of Thor's fault for where he's at. Since this has been happening, she's been messing with them, like tricking him. That's why Thor had to get the belt and all this stuff. Thor has like a bunch of guilt, but he's like, you know what? Let's go back home to Asgard. We'll have more discussions. Now, this is where we find out is that these rogues of Thor are working with the Minotaur. And the Minotaur says that the Enchantress is the reason why Thor was able to return back to Midgard. And how Enchantress right now is the new Roxxon COO. And they mention Iron Man with Tony because Tony has a war with him right now with the armor. And the Minotaur says that Thor will be attacking them soon. So I'm assuming maybe next issue or the next couple issues. Back in Asgard, we see Thor's older brother right here with the cane. This is like, I guess, an elder god version of Thor's brother or something like that. I forgot exactly. Not really talked about. But he tells Thor about like how he's going to get, Enchantress' son back to reality. We have to use Thor's all power, a lot of it, plus Enchantress' blood to bring him back. Thor says, though, if you try to bring your other brother back, that has, relations with Carol, Captain Marvel, you're gonna get fucking fucked up. That's basically what Thor is saying right here, because there's beef between them. And Enchantress is like, well, I don't need that son to, come back because he's from a future timeline that's possibly not going to happen anyways. I want my baby boy back. Now, with the powers of the Allfather, with the blood of Enchantress, you hear Thor's like, it is done then. Lady Sif says, wait, Thor, this is not right. I know, Sif, you advised me against this course, but the deed is done now. I owed Amora too much, and Eric likewise. But that's not Eric, Thor, and it's not Ove either. Thor's like, I know that voice. What have you done, Amora? Amora tricked him again, and she's like, Eric deserves peace. And Ove, well, he's already made his bed, so he deserves to be where he's at. She brought back Thor's son from the possible future from 1998's Thor run. I believe his name is Mangini or something like that, but yes, his son is back. And Thor remembers all this shit. What?